let's talk a little bit about negating numerical comparisons. So before we get into this, A and B are both numbers, either integers or doubles. Um, so if you have a statement that says A equals B, um, and you negate that comparison, okay, it's going to be the same as if we said A doesn't equal B. Okay, this is going to give us the same truth values as if we negated these truth values. And based on that, you can probably guess what's going to happen here. If I say it's not equal, well, that means it is equal. This one is a little trickier. A is greater than B. And we're saying that's not true. Well, you need to think through this. There's three possibilities. So A could be greater than B, A could be equal to B, and A could be less than B. Now, if this is the case, then this is going to return true, and these two are going to return false. What I need is something that negates that, where A greater than B will return false, A equals B will return true, and A less than B also returns true. So the temptation is to just switch the sign here and say that A is less than B. But that doesn't consider this case right here, where A needs to be equal to B. So we actually need to make it A is less than or equal to B. So if A is greater than B, then this is true and both of these are false. If the opposite is true, then that means that one of these has to be true and this has to be false. We have to include that possibility that it's equal. So if we're negating the idea that it's less than, the logical negation of that is greater than or equal to. Because again, this equal to was false over here, so it needs to be true over here. And these you can probably figure out from before. So if A greater than or equal to B is true, that means this statement is true. That means this statement is true. So the only one that's false is this one. So we need only this statement to be true when we negate it. So we'll just make it less than B. So just be careful. When you negate something with an equal to, that equal to needs to go away. When you negate something without the equal to, the equal to needs to show up. So this will be A greater than B. Now you might wonder, why do we even care about this? Well, there's a lot of times where you wind up with a really complicated expression and you don't need one. And it makes your code harder to write, makes it harder to read. So you really would prefer one of these simplified expressions so that people can follow along a lot better. Also, you'll have two people arguing, oh, it's this, no, it's this. And then you realize, oh, it's the same thing. So knowing that these are equivalent is just another tool in our tool belt.